I'm Llama Gucci from Ashijima's farm and you're watching Disney Channel. Hey llamas. Yes, we've finally got a name for this farmhouse. Welcome back to my channel. This video is the first part of the I Cheated on You challenge series and I wanted to start it off with iwaoi. To be honest, I'm really nervous about this video because I've never written an iwaoi thing before and I know that the fandom can sometimes go a little overboard with them, which I personally don't like all that much. I do think Iwa is more aggressive, but not to the point where he's like Shitakoa I hate you or some like that. So this is my version of them and I tried not to make it too overly angst or fluffy. I do have to say that just because this is how I see them doesn't mean you have to too. This is just my opinion, but if you have any feedback feel free to comment down below. Anyways, that's all I have to say. I hope you like this video and I'll see you on the next one. Iwaizumi drew in a deep breath before placing his pencil back on his book and looking up at the brunette sitting on his bed. What are you doing? Watching you. Well, stop that, it's creepy. Ikoa gasped, placing a hand over his chest, earning an eye roll from the other. You're so mean to me, Iwa-chan. So are you. How am I being mean to you? Invasion of privacy. Watching you study is not an invasion of privacy. No, but coming over without asking is. Geez, didn't know I had to ask my own boyfriend permission to come over. Iwaizumi sighed. He wouldn't get it. Before he could reply back, he felt a vibration in his pocket. Iwaizumi pulled out his phone and saw that he had gotten a text from Kiru. Yo. Hey. Have you done it yet? Not yet. SMH, I was hoping for some juicy tea. I was sent an attachment. IKSKS stop. SMH. I'm just tryna find the right time, you know. Yeah, but do it by today because we're all planning on sharing our results tomorrow. Why do you sound like we're about to write a lab report? Wait, that's not a bad idea. This could be like an experiment. Goodbye. Lab reports are cool, SMH, you're missing out. Iwaizumi shut his phone, shoving it back into his pocket, and heaved yet another sigh. How the hell am I supposed to do this? Is there even a right time to do this? Why did I even agree to this in the first place? Oh right, because I hate myself. Anyways, I'm going now, you'll see you later, Iwa. Ikoa got up from his seat, swinging his bag over his chest, and headed towards the door. Huh? Where are you going? Maki and Matsun are waiting for me at the cafe. Oh. Yeah. And I know you won't come cause you gotta study, so. Iwaizumi stayed still, not knowing what to say. How do I tell him not to leave without actually saying it? Wait, Ikoa. Yeah? Maybe this is the chance? Nah, this is stupid. Actually, never mind. Ikoa paused for a moment before nodding hesitantly, a tiny frown trickling his lips. He turned to the door and twisted the knob. Fuck it. I cheated on you. Iwaizumi muttered under his breath, his voice barely a whisper. Ikoa's grip on the knob tightened, his heart pounding in his chest. Slowly and tentatively, Ikoa turned around to see his boyfriend staring at him with distraught eyes. What'd you say? Oh crap, there's no backing out now. Cheated on you. Iwaizumi's olive green eyes met the other's chocolate brown ones, hurt evident in his gaze. Pure silence seeped into the room, filling the atmosphere with a cutthroat tension that could easily be cut with a knife. Why isn't he saying anything? Oh fuck, I regret this already. What have I done? I should clear things up and apologize him. Ikoa's lips had distorted into a feeble smile, his eyes still holding on to the same hurt as before. I'm not surprised. Well, what? Iwaizumi choked out, his eyes widened and his eyebrows tightly knit. I mean, I sort of expected it. You expected me to cheat on you? What the fuck is he saying? No, I guess I expected you to be the one to leave first. Wait, Ikoa, what? Iwaizumi got up from his seat and slowly walked towards the other, the frown in his face magnifying with every step he took. It doesn't matter, I'm leaving. No, tell me. What's there to tell you? You cheated, didn't you? Ikoa, I was just kidding, it was a stupid prank or whatever. Oh. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't think you'd react this way. I thought you'd be mad or something. Oh sorry. Sounded pretty convincing, so. How the fuck was that convincing? What's going on? It's nothing, I better get going now. Iwaizumi grabbed his wrist, stopping him in his tracks. With a firm look on his face, Iwaizumi peered at Ikoa, the colors in his face almost draining. Tell me. Ikoa inhaled a sharp breath, dropping his head, avoiding eye contact with the other. I mean, it really isn't that much of a reach that you'd cheat on me if you think about it. How so? A lot of things. Like the fact that we've been dating for 3 months and you still treat me like I'm just your friend, though I'm not sure if I can even call it that. That's not true though, we kiss and everything, right? Oikoa crossed his arms and gave the other a blank stare. Yeah, but I have to literally beg you for them because God forbid you show me any kind of affection. Iwaizumi furrowed his eyebrows, his mouth parted open, unable to speak. Because really, what could he possibly say to him that better the situation? You know that I'm not good with expressing my feelings as overtly as you do. I know that, and that's why I stay silent and pretend it doesn't hurt. What else? Huh? I want to know what more I've done to hurt you. Are you mocking me? No. Oikoa narrowed his eyes at the other, who continued to stand still with a stoic expression on his face. He was serious. Oikoa averted his gaze to the floor, his pupils dilating with despair and sadness. Even now you yelled at me for invading your privacy when that never used to be a problem. Iwaizumi's eyes perked up. That's not. We barely even go on dates, and half the time I don't even know if you know it's a date. Obviously I do. What the hell, this is actually pathetic. I'm so pathetic. And I hate how jealous I get. Jealous? Oikoa curled his fingers into a fist, his lips quivering. I get jealous when I see Maki and Matsun be all cute and cuddly in front of us, because I want that, and I hate that I can't be happy for them without feeling like this. Oikoa. And I hate how I always have to say I love you first, and how sometimes you don't even say it back. It makes me. Oikoa's voice cracked, and when Iwaizumi looked up, his eyes widened. Oikoa had a hot stream of tears running down his face, the tip of his ears tinted bright red and his cheeks flushed. Toru. Iwaizumi whispered, his eyes still widened with horror, and slowly pulled a trembling Oikoa to his chest. Shit, what the hell is wrong with me? I made him cry. I fucking made him cry. Toru. It makes me feel like you don't want me. It makes me feel like I'm falling in love with someone who doesn't feel the same for me. Oikoa gripped tightly onto the other's shirt as he continued sobbing, unaware that Iwaizumi's trembling fingers had been running through his hair. To Toru, but most of all, I hate that it literally hurts to love you. A few moments passed by as not a word was exchanged between the two. Once Oikoa's sobs had slowly faltered, he looked up almost instantly at the sound of shuddering breath. Iwa? Toru. Iwaizumi lightly pushed Oikoa away from his chest and placed a hand on his cheek, caressing it softly. I don't deserve you. Oikoa's gaze lingered longer as he continued staring at the other with deeply furrowed eyebrows and a frown that could reach the depths of a sea. I let my stupid pride get the best of me. Pride? I thought that maybe if I kept my distance with you it wouldn't hurt as much when you leave. Why do you think I'll leave? Tears ran down Iwaizumi's cheeks in rivulets, his silent sobs echoing around the room. Oikoa gently took Iwaizumi's hand off of his cheek, though suddenly feeling cold, and held the other's hand in his. Tell me, Iwa, what makes you think I'd leave? Because I'm an insecure piece of shit. What are you insecure about? You. Oikoa's eyes widened as he took a step back. Me? Iwaizumi slowly nodded. You've always been so good at this relationship thing. I got dumped every 2 weeks. Well then, at least with me you always know what to do. You plan all these dates, you remember the little things, and you do it so confidently. And I just don't know how to be like that. I only do all this because it's you. What? In my previous relationships I never put in effort, I never really cared, to be honest. But with you it just comes so naturally. Iwaizumi deepened his gaze on Oikoa, dazed by the words falling from his mouth. I'm not good at relationship stuff either, but with you it just feels right. Like I was meant to do this with you, you know? Iwaizumi nodded warily. And that's why it scares me that maybe you don't feel it too. No, I do. I'm just constantly afraid of not being good enough for you. Seriously? Yeah. I hate to admit it, but when I'm with you it feels like my heart's pounding in my chest and I feel so weird. Even now the only reason why I yelled at you was because you caught me off guard, and I can't stop the weird feeling in my chest. And the worst part is that I don't particularly hate this feeling. Oikoa's eyes widened at the blushing mess in front of him. Iwa. After a brief moment of silence, Iwaizumi looked up only to see a faint smile on Oikoa's face, only this time he couldn't find a sliver of hurt in his eyes. So you do love me? Haha. Oikoa placed a finger under Iwaizumi's chin, lifting his face up, and stared at him with a cheeky grin on his face. You just suck at showing it. Shut up, Shitakoa. Oikura let out a light chuckle before the corners of his lips distorted into a small smirk. Baka. If you were feeling this way you could have told me about it. You would have made fun of me. That's true. I would have. Oh I Shitakura. I kid. But I'd be stupid to leave your fine ass like have you seen those muscles? Goddamn. There was no denying the fact that the blush on Iwaizumi's face was as red as a tomato as he instantly looked away. Shut up. Don't just say things like that so casually. Oikura let out a loud laugh. Wait. Are you saying that you'd leave me if I'm ugly? Precisely. Iwaizumi reached out his other hand behind Oikura's head and smacked it. Oh. Shitakura, that's not love then. Oikura rubbed his head and looked up at the other, raising an eyebrow. Well, aren't you smart? Huh? Iwaizumi staggered back as the other tentatively took steps towards him until his back hit a wall and he was staring at the piercing eyes of his lover face inches away from his. So you know what love is now? Iwaizumi's quivering eyes pierced at the other before cracking a smile. Yeah, I do. Oikura's smirk slowly faltered as he stared back at him, looking for any type of mockery in his eyes, but alas he couldn't find one. Iwa. Toru. Hajime. I love you, I really do. I'm sorry that I hurt you so much. It was never my intention. I know. And I know that for all the shit I've done I deserve to lose you. But I don't want to. Iwaizumi cupped the other's cheeks and pulled him closer. I'm really selfish and greedy, but I want you. Only you. And it gets my blood boiling to picture you with someone other than me. Me too. I only want you, Iwa. I can't promise you that I can make you happy all the time, but I'll never stop trying. You already do make me the happiest. Even when things go south between us, just seeing your face or talking to you makes me forget about any pain. A smile larger than life formed on Iwaizumi's lips as he leaned in closer and pulled Oikura into a sweet and passionate kiss. Oikura gripped onto the other's shirt tightly, deepening the kiss, and couldn't help but smile against Iwaizumi's soft lips. Moving one of his hands to Oikura's waist, Iwaizumi pressed his chest against the other's, holding him tightly. Once they pulled away, their eyes fluttered open, intensifying their gaze onto the flustered mess in front of one another. My heart's doing that stupid thing again. Iwaizumi laughed lowly before taking Oikura's hand and placing it on his chest. You feel it? Oikura nodded, grinning from ear to ear as he felt the tremendous palpitations of the other's heart. My mine too. Oikura took Iwaizumi's hand and placed it on his chest, taking the other by surprise. Shit. This must be what love feels like. The blush on Oikura's face magnified by 1,000,000 times when Iwaizumi tucked a strand of his hair behind his ear. I don't know where we're gonna be after graduation, but I do know that no matter where we are I'm always going to be in love with you. Oikura's breath hitched. Hajime. Goddammit Shitakura, look what you've done. You've made me all sappy. Oikura laughed, nodding eagerly, and Iwaizumi, who had been biting the inside of his cheek trying not to laugh along, eventually gave up as he too bursted into a roar of laughter. Now that we've gotten this over with, let's talk about that little prank of yours. Iwaizumi gulped as Oikura narrowed his eyes at him. Let's not. Do you really think I'd let it go so easily? No, because you're a brat. Hurtful but fair point. Iwaizumi rolled his eyes playfully. Wanna go watch the new Wonder Woman movie? Oikura's eyes perked up as an enormous grin found its way onto his face. Yes. Great, I'll go grab my car keys and wallet. Oikura nodded eagerly, the grin on his face unwavered. Oh, Iwa-chan wanna cockblock Maki and Madsen on the way. You're evil. You love it. That I do. Iwaizumi winked playfully, leaving Oikura with his jaw dropped to the floor. Did he just? He did. Oh my god. Iwa-chan. Yeah? Please rail me like one of your French girls. There was a brief moment of silence before a pillow was thrown towards Oikura's direction in full force. Shitakura. I told you not to say shit like that so casually. Oikura laughed loudly as Iwaizumi continued throwing pillows at him. Crapikura. Trashikura. Iwa-chan, stop with the nicknames. Not until you learn a lesson, Lusakura. How about Sexikura then? Nah, you haven't earned it yet. Oikura gasped, throwing a pillow back at him, the crevices of both of their lips distorting into a gentle smile. Iwa-chan. Holy forking shitballs. I didn't think it was possible to be even more in love with him. I'm never going to let this moment end. For the rest of our lives. I got the idea for the plot of this video from Alex. Also join the Discord if you haven't already. It's a fun time. The link will be in the description as always or in a pinned comment.
again.